Hey guys, what's up and welcome back Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got the second round of the Barcelona Open. It's a special one though, with Rafa back in action. Players are warming up, but we're going to get started soon. Rafa's taking on Alex de Minaur. Demon actually beat Rafa the last time that they played. So it should be interesting. Rafa back on clay looked pretty good. Caboli was definitely not at his best. He had a lot of errors. But Rafa, let's see how he's looking. This is going to be his biggest test yet. He still hit some great shots in that first round, but this is going to be his big test. So let's see how it all goes down. Playing from the home crowd. How's everybody doing? We're about to get started up here. Get everything going. Hey, what's up, Pavel? So what's up? What's up, Sam? Going for Rafa in 3 sets. Sam, I've got the exact same prediction. I have Rafa in 3 sets as well. I know a lot of people are going to say de Minaur. It's not a strong prediction. I don't want to give, false hope or anything. But my personal prediction, Rafa on clay is just so crazy. De Minaur is the favorite. There's probably, it's hard to say that with Rafa on clay. De Minaur is, I think most people would say the favorite. But for me, when Rafa's on the court, when he's playing on clay, I think that Rafa's going to be I think Rafa can figure it out and get a lot of people super excited. So I'm going to go Rafa in 3. Why not? He looked good in the first round. And if it was on grass courts and de Minaur was playing on grass, then maybe it would be a different story or something like that. But on clay, that's what I'm going with. Rafa in straights, no sweat. Okay, Lexi. What's up? All right, we're love 30 for de Minaur. What's up, KC? Appreciate everybody joining in. I'm excited for this one too. I really, really am. Definitely different, styles from how Caboli was smashing every shot for either a winner or an unforced error in the first one. So, what's up, everybody? Serve here from Nadal. The King of Clay is back. The King of Clay is back. Serve the backhand of de Minaur, forehand of Rafa. The backhand of de Minaur way up high. Oh, it's a volley from Rafa. Oh, de Minaur's there at the slice. That goes out, though. Need to get used to that. de Minaur's going to be running down everything. What's up, Lexi? You scored the first point, Anthony. I guess that's what we're doing the whole stream, huh, Lex? We're just going to... I'm going to be de Minaur in this situation. Okay. I got it. I should root for Alex, then. Hello, Zeraphine. What's up? What's up? All right, Rafa's down low 30. He's back to 30 all. Let's see if Rafa can hold here in the first game. That serve goes long, so second serve. De Minaur sounds like some Spanish bull's name or something. I like that because Rafa is always called the bull, Spanish bull. Serve, the forehand of de Minaur, forehand of Nadal, the forehand of de Minaur, forehand of Rafa, the backhand of de Minaur, backhand of Rafa, the backhand of de Minaur, going backhand to backhand, down the side, backhand again to the forehand of Rafa, runs around it, inside out is a great shot, forehand of de Minaur, forehand of Rafa, backhand slice of de Minaur, some great shots already, forehand cross court, the backhand de Minaur down the line, backhand cross court. Forehand of de Minaur, backhand slice now, Rafa. That's in the ground, though. That's a great rally, though. Some high-level shots already. We love it. We love it. Hey, what's up, Nicoletta? What's up? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you for joining in. I'll be here hopefully till the last point of the match. I think Alex wins this. All right. Yep, that's fair, Pavel. I think we're going to have a lot of split opinions, though, to be honest. Sam, for me, de Minaur sounds like Minotaur. Yeah, I see that. I've thought about that too before as well. The bull versus the Minotaur. I like it. It's good branding. It's good branding. It's all about the branding. All right, serve here. It's an early break point here for Demon. The serve of Rafa is going to be, a big challenge for Rafa to hold serve against Demon. Because the serve still doesn't seem quite there, but let's see. That's in the net. So first game goes to de Minaur. He gets a break early. Also, always hardest to hold your first service game. In Rafa's first match, his first service game, he held, but his serves were very, very tentative compared even to the rest of the match. So let's see if it improves as it goes. But first game goes to Alex de Minaur. I won't say I'm very surprised by that first service game being lost, but let's see if Rafa regroups. Head-to-head, by the way, of Nadal versus de Minaur. The head-to-head is currently at 3-1 for Rafa. Rafa won the first 3 times that they played. Straight sets at Wimbledon, straight sets in the Australian Open 2018, 2019. But de Minaur, at that time, I think he was a teenager, if I'm not mistaken. So both the exact same scoreline, 6-1, 6-2, 6-4. And then they played at ATP Cup, and de Minaur played a phenomenal match. Probably the best of his career to that point, even though he lost it. Lost 4-6, 7-5, 6-1. Won the first set 6-4 in great fashion, hitting a lot of winners, playing more aggressive than I think we were used to seeing him play. And then he brought that same kind of aggressive style and beat Rafa at the United Cup last year in one of Rafa's last matches before the comeback. So the last time they played, de Minaur won. He'll have that confidence. It was also a very close match, 7-5 in the third. So he will have that confidence, but Rafa on clay is a different beast. He's only ever lost 45 matches on clay, Rafa. de Minaur's trying to become the 46th loss over a 23-year career or something. I don't know exactly. 21, 22-year career. Backhand of de Minaur. The forehand of Rafa. Backhand de Minaur. The forehand of Rafa again. Backhand of Rafa. Down the line, the backhand of de Minaur. Some great shots from the back. I love this. The level is already so high. Oh, yeah, let's go. Level is already so high. Bring it. Bring it. They've never played on clay, right? Yeah. They played their first match on grass, and their next 3 were on outdoor hard courts. Definitely let me know some predictions in the chat if you got them. I'll go with Rafa in 3. I'm going for. Is it an upset though? I don't know how to classify it, but I know most people are probably going to say de Minaur. But I don't know. I saw a lot of people getting super excited about Rafa after that first match. So I don't know. But I'm going to go Rafa in 3. De Minaur, I think you would think, has the play style that can hurt Rafa more, which is testing out his fitness, longer rallies, making him run a lot. Backhand volley. De Minaur, very good. 30-15. 30-15 as he closes out at the net. De Minaur's got a lot of skills. He's got a lot of skills. The skills that made a lot of people not surprised when he finally did reach the top 10 in the world. He kind of fell out of the top 20 for like 3-4 years in a row, but he always had the skills and the speed. There's no question about that. So it's been good to see him figure out a way to make his game so, effective in winning matches so consistently. Backhand, forehand of Demon, forehand of Rafa. The backhand of Demon down the line is a great redirect. Backhand Rafa. Forehand of Demon. Demon is starting off playing really well here. Forehand down the line, forehand of Rafa. Back cross court, backhand of de Minaur. Backhand of Rafa. Backhand de Minaur. Backhand drop shot Rafa. That's in the net. De Minaur is playing amazing. If anything, it's a very good test for Rafa. We're going to see him need to step up his level to an absolute extreme if de Minaur maintains his level. Which is, against Kaboli, I don't think Rafa was ever tested in that way, really. This is going to be the big test of that for sure. Serve coming here from Alex de Minaur. Full Barcelona crowd watching on. Serve. Out wide, backhand of Nadal. The forehand of de Minaur. Backhand Nadal. Backhand of de Minaur. Backhand Nadal. To the forehand of de Minaur. Backhand Nadal. That's a down the line winner. It's a down the line winner. 40-30. Great shot. I just love Rafa being back and seeing him hit winners like that. It's just so good. It's just so good. I don't want to speak bad on Andy, but you kind of don't want it to be a Andy Murray situation where, you know, he has those same flashes of brilliance, but he's not winning a lot of tournaments or anything, or a lot of big matches consistently. But Rafa slips up a bit. Okay, he's okay though. Just good. Slips up returning the serve. But that being said, Rafa won his match yesterday, hitting some great shots. Let's see how he does today. He's only just coming back, so expectations should be very limited, despite my hopes being high with my prediction. The expectations are low. Deuce here, as de Minaur misses a forehand long. Serve from de Minaur to the backhand of Rafa, forehand Demon. The backhand of Rafa, forehand Demon. Again to the backhand of Rafa, down the line, backhand de Minaur. The forehand of Rafa, drop shot. Rafa's there. Oh, it goes into the net. He had a lot of options. I mean, it wasn't easy, but he seemed a little bit undecisive. Probably could have hit over that even. Advantage here for de Minaur. Backhand. Pie to the forehand of Alex. That goes out again, though. So we're at deuce. Rafa is the kind of king of consistency and, you know, defense in these rallies, longer rallies on clay. And de Minaur, in some ways, you know, the thing that makes him a tough opponent is that he can make Rafa run a lot around the court. But that being said, Rafa's, you know, just casual shots like his forehand are so tough to deal with on clay, as we all know. That's a great drop shot from de Minaur. So just an advantage to de Minaur. It's a fantastic drop shot. As we all know, Rafa shots are so tough. De Minaur, I think actually the reason clay courts is his worst surface, despite him playing sometimes a more defensive game, or at least using that as a big factor and weapon in his game, is the fact that sometimes his shots fall a bit shorter. They're not as effective. They're not as, you know, monstrous, or like, it's kind of like Medvedev, right? He needs, despite him not playing a very aggressive game, he needs the kind of aggression and pace in his shots and depth in his shots consistently to make it really work. By the way, de Minaur gets the game as Rafa hits a shot long, so 2-0 for Alex. Let's see how Rafa responds here as de Minaur gets the quick lead, or not the quick lead, but the lead early here in 13 minutes. But what Alex has done is he started to play more aggressive in the last, I'd say since like 2022, I've noticed it. I mean, 2022, he never really got the results he deserved, but even on clay courts in Barcelona, I believe, he semifinals against Carlos Alcaraz, he had match point to win in straight sets, which Carlos saved in ridiculous fashion. So it was a shot that de Minaur hit right down the middle as Alcaraz was running to the backhand, and in the last minute he switched to a forehand and he hit a passing shot. Anyway, de Minaur, despite not getting the results in 2022, he's been playing much better for the last couple of years and more aggressive. And it'll be interesting, though, to see if that's enough to deal with Rafa's, you know, kind of great aggression, tough forehands, if that makes sense. If de Minaur is going to be able to kind of rally consistently with Rafa and make him hit. Nadal also, by the way, he's playing more aggressive than ever, by the way, for his fitness, because of how he played in Brisbane. So it's just going to be interesting to see. It's going to be really interesting to see on de Minaur's side, also because de Minaur is playing the best tennis of his life. Even got to the quarterfinals of Monte Carlo. Didn't play a great last match against Djokovic, but I mean, still made it close against Djokovic, so close-ish. So not close, but that counts for something. 6-4, 7-5 against Novak. But anyway, it'll be really interesting. There's a lot of interesting things going on here. Also, Nadal serve, how de Minaur does on the return of Nadal serve. Hey, what's up, Nicholas? Good to have you in here. What's up? I saw you saw the Tennis 360 podcast this week. I saw your comment as well, and I appreciate everybody who joined in and checked out that podcast. Thank you for checking that out. Forehand Rafa, the backhand of Minaur, back into Rafa. Forehand of Minaur, back into Rafa. The forehand of Minaur, back in Rafa. The forehand of Demon, back in Rafa again. The forehand of Demon, that goes out. 15-all. Let's see if Nadal can at least get a game on the board here. See if Nadal can at least get a game on the board here. But yeah, I guess the big thing is Nadal's rusty on match play, so the consistency in rallies, you'd probably have to favor Alex, especially with the form and the amount of matches he's been playing recently. But yeah, we'll see what all happens. Serve from Rafa. That goes out. Second serve. I've got a big stat as well, by the way, that I want to share as well to get my point across of something that I mentioned as well. Serve from Rafa to the forehand of Minaur. Forehand of Rafa. It's a bit short. Back in Minaur. Back into Rafa. Still rallying. That's in the net. But that's the thing about clay. I mean, you have a lot of time to regroup in rallies. It's an absolute dogfight on clay courts. So Minaur's overall win percentage in his career, 59%, which is not bad, decent. It's probably going to only get higher, to be honest. But 59% win rate. I mean, I don't know if a lot higher, we'll see, but 59% win percentage in his career. On hard court, 62.2%. He's won 143 matches, lost 87. On grass courts, it's 61%, 25 and 16. Grass court, much shorter. But basically, hard court, 62%, grass court, 61%, right? And then once you get to clay courts, 41.3%. He's won 19 matches, he's lost 27. So he hasn't even played that much on clay. He's barely played more on clay than he's played on grass. And it's by far his worst win percentage, which is part of why he hasn't played that much. Back and slice of Minaur, weird bounce off the baseline. It's a challenge from Rafa, though. Let's see what happens here. But yeah, Minaur, clay is his worst surface. I would say that for sure. For Demon. That doesn't mean he can't play well on it, but yeah, it's his worst surface. It is out, like Rafa said. Rafa knows best. Rafa called it out. It's out. 40-15 here, Rafa. Serve down the tee into the backhand of Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. The backhand of Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. Inside out. This is so good so far. It's very compelling. Forehand inside out. Forehand Minaur. Oh! What a pass from Alex down the line. That is a hell of a shot. Shot of the match so far from either guy. Crazy shot there. This level is so good. And how can it get more compelling than this? Slap down the line. It's a winner. 40-30. 40-30. Big test for Rafa early here. Minaur is hitting that forehand as good as ever. Minaur is hitting that forehand as good as ever. By the way, the fact that Minaur is up a break, if Rafa can hold, I can easily imagine Rafa breaking Minaur, which is a big reason as to why when Minaur broke, I was like, oh, okay. Like, Minaur, he has like the worst serve placement of anybody in the top 20 in the world. It's not a very fast serve either. It's one of the things holding him back. But anyway, Rafa needs to hold his own serve. He misses a backhand there wide and long. So that's not great. We're at deuce here at 2-0. Serve here from Rafa. The forehand of Minaur hits tape, goes over. Forehand to Rafa. Big to the backhand Minaur. Back into Rafa. Into the drop shot of Minaur. That drop shot is playing pretty crazy at the moment. Drop shot's playing pretty crazy. What a down the line shot from Alex that was. That was nuts. Yeah. That was ripped. Flat forehand down the line. Pretty crazy, Pavel. Come on, Rafa. Like, see my favorite peeps. Hell yeah. Love to all y'all in the chat. Appreciate everybody joining in for this. Come on, Rafa. You can do this. It's an advantage for Minaur. He's got to save a break point here. And then let's see. Let's see. Go away, Demi. Go away, Demi. Backhand, Minaur to the forehand to Rafa. Inside out, forehand to Minaur. Back into Rafa. Cross court, forehand to Minaur. Back into Rafa. Back cross court. It's a great shot. Squash shot. Forehand to Rafa. Minaur can't get there. You can't get there. It's a lob. It goes out. Big fist bump from Rafa. That's the reaction I love to see from Rafael Nadal, one of the greatest to ever do it. Get out of here, Minaur. We're at deuce. Rafa says, get out of here. This is my turf. Rafa with the serve. Backhand of Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. Forehand of Minaur. Forehand to Rafa defending. Forehand of Minaur. That's in the net. So it's advantage here for Rafa. Advantage here for Rafa is about to serve. Advantage here for Rafa about to serve. Serve Rafa. Backhand. A Minaur down the line. Just catches the line, it seems. Forehand. Cross court backhand Nadal. The forehand of Minaur. Forehand Nadal. The forehand of Minaur. It's a drop shot. That's too good. That drop shot is killing Rafa at the moment. Drop shot is killing Rafa. Let's see if he starts anticipating it. Minaur's hitting it a lot. Minaur's bloody Alcaraz out here. Minaur is bloody Alcaraz. Nadal's like, man, I saw those drop shots back with Roger. It's a lot of drop shotting. It's like Dustin Brown. I don't think Rafa likes drop shots very much. All right, we're at deuce here. Serve from Rafa. Coming here. Forehand to Minaur. Forehand Nadal. Back into Minaur. Forehand Nadal. Forehand Minaur. Forehand Nadal. Back in Minaur. Forehand Nadal down the line. How good is this? Back and down the line. Back in Minaur cross court. Nadal's there. The squash shot. Forehand down the line. Back end. Forehand volley. That's in the net. Nadal is out of this world. It's advantage Nadal. How good is it to have Nadal back playing competitive like this? How good is this? Advantage to Nadal. How good is this? I love every minute. I grew up watching Rafa. All the time. Man, you miss watching these legends play. You know, Roger retired and about, like, it seemed like right around that time, Nadal really dropped in level, and it was about 5 months later, he didn't play for about a year. So just to have Rafa back is just such a, such a nostalgia boost, and it's also still good to see him playing at this level. That forehand is still killer. Backhand. Forehand. Nadal backhand. That's Rafa's back in business. 2-1. He gets the first game. Two 1. All right, Rafa's on the board. Probably got too hyped for the first game for Rafa, but I'm just happy to see Rafa competing like this. So it's whatever. Go away, Demi Lovato. Yeah, go away, Demi Lovato. Go away, Demi Lovato. Go away, Demi Moore. Screw off, Demi Moore. Screw off, Demi Lovato. Go off to your skyscraper in Camp Rock. We don't need you here. This is my court. Exactly. Rafa's saying, this is my court. This is my turf on the clay. Go away, Demi Lovato. Rafa wants, but his body says no. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I hope not. I hope his body holds up. See. Rafa's the most dangerous player when dominating with his forehand. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Rafa and Roger, their forehands both are just unbelievable. It's very different. But Rafa, yeah. Rafa, his forehand is so hard to break down. I mean, he is just, yeah. His forehand is just nonstop. And he can hit amazing forehands from any position in the court. It's amazing. His forehand is so one of a kind, too. That's Upson Hill. Anthony, is Rafa your favorite player? No, Roger. Roger is my favorite player of all time, forever. Roger is my favorite player of all time forever. Yeah. Yep. Next to that, some of my favorites at the moment, I go Sinner, I go Rude, I go Murray. There are other players I really like from, I haven't been watching tennis that long. Been watching tennis for about 15 years, since 2008. But some other players that I really like over the years, Sampras is a player that I quite enjoy. Fabrice Santoro is a player that I quite like. Thinking of who else. I mean, just over the last recent years, Monfils, Dominic Thiem, Stanislav Wawrinka is a player I quite like. Those are some of my favorites. On the women's side as well, there are quite a few. Celis, Venus. Thinking of who else. Radwanska, Angelique Kerber, Ana Ivanovic. Those are a few. Those are definitely a few. But yeah, no, Rafa's great as well. Rafa said he'll play until it's still worth it. It's still worth it if we can watch matches like this. I say that. Dean Love. But I'm just thinking of so many great tennis matches watching when I was like 10, 11, like US Open 2011 final with Rafa and Novak. That one really stuck with me. Or all the Rafa Roger matches. Just so good to have Rafa because this was the first time I got worried. When he withdrew from Monte Carlo, this was the first time I really got worried that, hey, I don't know 100% sure that he's going to step on court again. And I was worried. So it's just good. It's good to have him back. Foreign Rafa. Foreign de Minaur. Down the line. It's a good shot. 30 love. We talked more about football and other stuff earlier than tennis during the Ons match. At least she won. Yeah. Got you. No, it's okay. The chat can go to different places. It's fine. I think that's funny. I think it's cool. So Sinner now your favorite, whom you properly follow. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's no secret. I mean, I will reiterate, my biggest goal as a commentator is to be unbiased to everybody. Like if Sinner plays my least favorite player, I'll be just as happy to cheer him on to the utmost extreme as I will be for Yannick. Or not cheer him on, but to give him the right amount of focus. That's honestly my biggest goal as a commentator. But yeah, it's no secret now. So yeah, Sinner is my player who I follow for sure. So that's true. Yeah. Sinner's the fave. Rafa. That goes out 40-15. Did you see that interview and Rafa was asked on whether he considers Roger a friend? But only someone he has a familiar relationship. Was that taken out of context, or was there ever an answer from Rafa like that? It's weird because I think he said it in Spanish, and I'm not sure that it completely went off correctly. It was I thought it was slightly weird of a thing to say, just the wording of it. I don't think he meant it the way that it came off. That's my opinion. But I don't know. But yeah, he did say something similar. Foreign inside out, foreign de Minaur. Foreign Rafa. I goes well wide though. 3-1 for de Minaur early here. Keep an eye on Rafa. Yeah, I think Rafa was like, he's Roger, somebody who I have extreme respect for. We're not necessarily. He said they came off like we're not necessarily friends. We don't talk to each other all the time. We're not best friends. But I don't know. I can't really believe that's what Rafa meant, that they're not friends. I think it just came off wrong. They're not exactly friends, but it's weird. If I had a competitor like Roger and we spent a lot of years together, consider him a friend, not just someone I'm familiar with. Yeah, I'm guessing it came off wrong. It was a weird statement, but anyway. I mean, they've played exhibitions together and been very nice with each other during Laver Cup as well. So, I mean, certainly they're friends. I just think it came off wrong. Forehand, back in Rafa down the line. That's a good volley. 15 love. 15 love. Two of the most skilled players on the circuit. Going at it on clay. Rafa, clay is by far his favorite surface. I don't even have to say that. It's like saying water is wet. But de Minaur, it's his least favorite. But de Minaur has played a lot of tennis. Rafa has not played a lot of tennis. If you're looking for a matchup, you want to see like a matchup that really compels you and has some stuff going for it, then I would say that this is a good one for that. There's a lot of different things going on. Did he mean familial? Maybe. I'm not sure, honestly. I'm really not sure, Sean. But it's interesting. I think the word friend, though, got lost in like, it's not what he meant. It's surely not what he meant, because it doesn't even make much sense. Serve from Rafa. Waits for it. Some other movement going out, maybe in the crowd. Second serve here from Rafa. Backhand of Minaur, forehand to Rafa. Inside out. The backhand of Minaur, backhand slice of Rafa. That goes out. I think Casper Ruud learned that running around the backhand and hitting the forehand from Rafa, because, man, I forgot how good Rafa is at that, especially hitting the inside out. I mean, the forehand inside in that Ruud is able to hit is phenomenal. I'm not saying like necessarily it's better than Rafa's, but it really stands out to me. But Rafa, particularly the forehand inside out as he runs around that backhand, is quite phenomenal. It's really amazing, the forehand inside out. I noticed him hit a few of those in the last match as well. Serve here. Out wide. That goes out from Minaur. So 40-15 for Rafa. Center won the last slam, so the focus is on him at the moment. Hope he can carry on the good form. I really like him. Alcaraz has gone somewhat under the radar now. Yeah, well, I've been on record to say that for 3 or 4 years, for 2 or 3, 4 years, I've been saying that I think Sinner is a future world number one and a multi-major champion. But I've also been honest in saying I actually think that Alcaraz might get more majors than him. And I still kind of believe so, to be honest. That being said, it is going to be so interesting to see how that all pans out. And Sinner is probably the favorite in their head-to-head at the moment, which is going to be important because they're going to play a lot of big matches against each other. But that being said, we'll see what kind of a level Alcaraz is able to rise to as he keeps improving as well. But yeah, Alcaraz is surely not done. Sinner is not done either. I mean, Sinner's going to have his drops. Alcaraz is going to have his drops. But I just like both those guys so much that I think they're going to get back on their feet, which I guess is obvious. I mean, I'm saying obvious things, but yeah, Sinner is very good. I like him a lot. There can't be a nicer dude. I think we're going to see more of his personality shine over the years too. He's very much himself though, which is cool. And yeah, the focus is on Sinner. I love it. I mean, he is so in form. It's crazy. And obviously that did translate to clay courts as well. We saw that. So it's 3-2. That is 3-2. If he's not a friend, I won't name a suite after him. Exactly, Lexi. Exactly. If I'm playing against somebody for 10 years and I don't end up hating the dude, then we're going to be best friends. How can you avoid? Yeah, it's got to be one or the other, right? It's either going to be like, God, I hate your guts. How could you ever win those matches against me? How could you take away Wimbledon from me? Either that, or you're like best friends with the guy. You're like, man, that was pretty crazy. Remember Wimbledon 08? Like, imagine two guys just speaking, being like, remember Wimbledon 08? You were crazy. That was crazy of you to hit that backhand down the line down match point. They're just laughing about it. Man, do you remember Wimbledon 08? Back in July of 2008? That was a crazy day. We had a blast. You took Wimbledon from me, Rafa. I'm just imagining Roger and Rafa just shooting the shit, talking about their best matches. Anyway, you would end up good friends, right? It connects you. It connects you together. A good example, too, is like Raducanu and Fernandez. I mean, I don't know if they're friends or not, but I always think, when I think of one, I think of the other, because both of them broke through and got to the U.S. Open final. That was the craziest thing ever. Tennis connects you when you play with somebody. Like Sampras and Agassi, Roger and Rafa. I don't know Sampras. I don't think Sampras and Agassi are best friends. I'll say that. But Roger and Rafa, I think, are good friends. Nobody who played in the 80s are good friends either. Those guys hated each other. Lendl and Connors and all of them. McEnroe. Anthony, even more crazy story. I started watching when I was just 6. 2011, Rafa Noli Wimbledon. Finals, my first match, that too in India, where tennis is still less popular. None of my friends even have an idea. Novak became my favorite after that match. Nice. Hell yeah. I love it, Snehil. Very cool. Yeah, I started watching tennis technically in 2008, 2009. When I started following tennis just every week, like all the time, that was really 2011, right around the same time. It was really the U.S. Open final right after that, which where Novak beat Rafa again, where I really started becoming super invested in the game every week following. So I feel that similar here in some ways. That was when without stop, I just became an obsessed every week kind of tennis fan. So yeah, similar timing on that. And 2011 Wimbledon, I remember really, being obsessed with I don't know. There's a video of top 10 best points from 2011 Wimbledon. I remember just, I don't know, being really interested. Is Federer going to beat Tsonga? All these things. That's a great lob from Nadal at the net. So it's love 30. de Minaur can't quite get it. He tries for a backhand smash, but he can't quite do it. So love 30. We've played 5 full games, and it is currently 3-2 in love 30. I mean, how long have we been on the court now? It's 3-2 love 30. What is the match time so far? I did say I think Rafa will have his chance to re-break. 37 minutes in 5 games is pretty absurd. It is Clay, and it is these two. We're going to have some longer rallies. We already have. Forehand, cross-court, back into Rafa. Down the line, back in de Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. Back in de Minaur. Cross-court. Oh, Rafa goes for a big forehand down the line, and it goes wide. So it's 15-30 for the Australian here. So he's trying to maintain his momentum. He's trying to give Rafa's 46th loss on clay, period, in his entire career, which is one of the crazier things you can say. 46 losses. It almost feels like less, but that's just so crazy. It's currently up a break, but it's 15-30. Serve down the tee, forehand to Rafa. The backhand of de Minaur. Back into Rafa. Forehand of de Minaur, back into Rafa. Forehand of Demon. Forehand to Rafa. Back in de Minaur, down the line, back in Rafa. Forehand of Demon. Big. The backhand slice of Rafa. Forehand de Minaur, that's out. 50-40. Nadal's got 2 break points. He's rallying very well, and that's what I said. I think Rafa, if he's able to play consistent, get to a top level, his shots from the back of the court, his high bouncing forehands, they could hurt Demon. Demon's not used to, on clay, his shots can be less, very kind of ruthless and very kind of, I don't know, less penetrative through the court. That's a great serve, though, from de Minaur. I think it's first ace of the match, so 30-40. First ace of the match for Demon. Backhand of de Minaur. Big point here. Backhand Nadal. Forehand of de Minaur. Down the middle to backhand Nadal. Forehand de Minaur. Forehand Nadal. Backhand de Minaur. Forehand Nadal. De Minaur wants to get to that backhand. We're seeing a lot of backhand down the lines. It doesn't matter, though, because that was a great shot from cross court. Nadal is back in business. He's back in business with a big backhand cross court. Right as I said that de Minaur wants to get it to the forehand, but that's why Rafa is Rafa. He doesn't have a bad shot. I mean, that's true about Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Murray, that none of them, Murray's backhand is world class. So his forehand is great as well. Djokovic has got a great forehand, especially now. And his backhand is the great contender for the best of all time. I think it's the best of all time. Nadal, Federer, his forehand is elite. His backhand is fantastic. One of the better one-handers. Nadal, his forehand is all-time good, and his backhand is phenomenal. So we're at 3-3. That being said, Minaur will probably want to get to the backhand, despite what just happened. It's another backhand down the line to that backhand, but another great back across court. Minaur is forced to go for a winner even when he doesn't want to on the full slide, and that is how good Rafa is playing. That is how good Rafa is playing. We love it. What is it that the kids say? We love it in this household. There you go. I say the kids as if I'm not. That's one of my favorite things to do, though. What do the kids say? Even though I'm also, I don't know if young is the right word, but I'm pretty young. 23. Serve. The back end of Minaur, forehand to Rafa. Forehand Minaur. Back into Rafa. Forehand Minaur down the line. Forehand to Rafa. Back in Minaur. Forehand to Rafa again. Back in Minaur. That goes out. 30 love. It is 30 love here. Lexi truly considers Roger like someone he knows, respects, but not really friends. Yeah, it is weird to me, but yeah. That Sean, I don't know. I only saw that tweet in passing. Only remembered it now. I remember the confusion when he said Curios was uneducated. I think that was lost in translation as well. Yeah, I mean, it's always tough with the language barrier, right? So, yeah, it's just hard to say. It looks like Minaur in straights, honestly. The tables have turned. That's what that comment was from a while ago, though, from Pavel. Drop shot. That's a good shot from Rafa. It did look like that. Rafa's really turned it on its head, though. Why'd they cancel the Pune ATP tournament? Also, the WTA Chennai happened for just a year. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. There should be more tournaments all across the world. I really deeply believe so. I mean, imagine if we could get like a Masters 1000 on every continent. I mean, that would be a lot of traveling for the players. But I'm just saying, like, the more we can have tennis all across the world, even more than we do now, like, the better. I think that's true. I think the more that we can make it global, the better. Go to all the places. The more resources we can get for tennis, the better. I know there's some places that have bigger audiences, but it would be so good for the people that live in those areas and to keep growing tennis all global. And it would make tennis more interesting. His backhand cross court at the moment is killing it. That's 3 backhand down cross court winners in 5 points. That's 3 backhand cross court winners in 5 points. I mean, okay, the shot at Love in this game, maybe not so much a winner, but it won him the point. That's 3 backhand cross court winners in 5 points from Rafa. So if you say, okay, Minaur, just get it to the forehand, which is what he's been get to the backhand, which is what he's been doing. It doesn't matter because Rafa's killing him with the backhand anyway. You know what it reminds me of? Rafa is so high IQ, which is what you need on clay courts when you get into these lung-busting rallies, which you need to pull up all the stops if you want to win, have great anticipation, great high IQ, and be next step in front of your opponent, one step ahead. Thing that you need to do is, okay, your opponent gives a strategy, you answer it back. Tennis is a chess game at 90 miles per hour. That's Robin Williams. So, Rafa, yesterday, Kabuli smashing every single winner, shot for a winner, which none of them were winners. They were all unforced errors. Very, very poor from Kabuli yesterday. He was hitting a lot of errors. When he stepped back and started playing better and started rallying more, which was good, Rafa was like, okay, well, I know you're playing better, but I'm going to hit some drop shots. He hit like 4 consecutive drop shots. It was like 4 drop shots and 6 points. And Kabuli was like, Jesus Christ, what do I have to do? It's like the Novak thing. Take your opponent's soul. You take you take your opponent's legs, and then you take your opponent's soul. And the one with Novak too, I have to check that live interview if there's any text. Don't give justice to how it's said in Spanish. Yeah, it looks like Minaur straights. When is Sinner playing? Yeah, Sinner's playing next in Madrid. Madrid is up next. Hey, what's up, Joe? Good to have you. Hola, Joe. What's up, Helga? I thought you were calling the match. I'm listening in Australia. Call the match. I'm calling it. We got the, he is calling the match. This play-by-play commentary. Exactly. Mehdi is my favorite actor. Dramatic, funny, and scary all in one. Mehdi is amazing. I love the drama. Grigor and Rublev like each other. They're my favorite bromance. Yeah, it is funny. It's funny. Anthony is a magician beating the bull and still has time to commentate his own match. Yeah, I'm doing a I'm multitasking. I just call in my own name instead of Demonor. Okay, can't hear Anthony. Yeah, exactly. I'm calling it. I can't, but he's not really calling it. Well, what I do on here is sometimes I drift to other topics to chat with the chat. But overall, the main focus. I'm still calling the match. I'm still doing the match, but sometimes I will go to other topics. That's just how we do it a little bit. Love Manny's personality, but I'm not in love with his game. That's fair. I mean, I get that. I personally enjoy watching it, but I enjoy watching the unorthodoxness of it. It's also, I can understand how his flat backhand after backhand sometimes, and the rallying and this, and not going for flashy shots sometimes cannot be the most fun. I get that. Back in Rafa, forehand to Demonor, inside out, the forehand to Rafa. Oh, goes cross court. How do you find that angle from that position? I mean, Rafa is playing like a top 10 player with some of these shots. He's back in business. This is Rafa. I mean, Rafa is more than just top 10. That was an exquisite point. First, it was a good down the line. Or no, I mean, cross court. I wanted to see a replay. I mean, the last shot was good, but the shot to set it up was phenomenal as well. Rafa was pulled way out wide. It looked like his only shot to me was the down the line. Sometimes he finds a fantastic cross court forehand angle. And that just goes to how impressive Rafa's forehand is. Goes to how impressive Rafa's forehand is. Rafa trying to make a 4-1 over Demon. Serve. Rafa's first tournament since the 2022 Roland Garros on clay. First clay tournament since 2022 Roland Garros. Serve the forehand of Rafa. That goes out, so it is 30-all. I like him, just not when he's angry and starts his on-court drama. That's fair. Hey, what's up, Jerome? Joining the convo late, who has the bigger rivalry, Novak and Rafa or Novak and Roger? Oh, definitely Novak and Rafa. I would say almost Rafa and Roger have a bigger argument than Novak and Roger. That being said, I think their rivalry is hell underrated. They've had some incredibly iconic moments. They bring a high level. They're very even across all three surfaces. I mean, if you're asking what's the most high-level match, Roger and Novak is pretty close to it. Well, who has the bigger rivalry in terms of the cultural conversation? Tennis cultural conversation? For sure, it's Rafa and Novak. Rafa and Novak is iconic. It's iconic. They've played the most times. They've played in all of the biggest stages. They played 4 slam finals in a row, which is unheard of. That's a great drop shot from Rafa. And Demonor can't get it. He hits a slice into the net. 30-40. Big moment here for Rafael Nadal. The Spaniard trying to get to 5-3 here. And close off this first set. Serve from Demon. Down the teeth. Back into Rafa. Forehand to Demonor. Inside out. It's a good forehand. That's solid. It's solid from the Australian. It's solid from Alex. Big vamos from Demonor. Trying to get some Spanish fans with the vamos. That vamos is really taken off. People are saying vamos more than let's go. It's true. I'm sorry, but Novak Rafa has to be the biggest tennis rivalry of all time. Sure, yeah. I mean, look at the number of times they played each other, how close the score is. Yeah, I would agree. Roger and Rafa, and there's some McEnroe and Borg, Roger and Rafa, Laver and Rosewall. But yeah, Novak and Rafa. I mean, come on, the way they've defined the sport with Roger, but their rivalry has been incredible for playing so many epic matches. They played 3 5-setters though. I do wonder how many 5-setters Roger and Rafa played. Rome, Australian Open, Wimbledon twice, so they played at least 4. Australian Open. So Roger and Rafa played more 5-set matches, and they completely, utterly dominated the game together for pretty much from like 2005 to 2010. But and their clash of styles, the way they pushed the game to a new level. I mean, their matches were, to me, felt like an event whenever those two played. I still love their rivalry. And despite Roger not winning a lot, winning a lot at first, he made a lot of their matches super close. They were all very close. And 24 out of 40 of their matches were in finals. That is over 50%. Similar to Murray Djokovic, by the way. 50% of their matches came in finals too, but which is just a fun fact. But So Roger and Rafa, I think at this point still hold an absolute candle. I mean, that is something else. But Rafa Novak, I think there's a huge argument to be made that they are the biggest rivalry in tennis. Sorry, right now I am drifting off topic from the match. I'll get back to the match. That's my bad. Serve into forehand to Rafa, back into de Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. That goes out. So de Minaur does hold there, 4-4. We're at 4-4. But de Minaur did well to hold there. That was a break point that he fended off. 4-4. But yeah, the biggest rivalry of all time, technically, Pancho Gonzalez, Richard Gonzalez versus Ken Rosewall. Back in the day. You can look it up. Those two guys played, I think, like 120, 130 times, which is hilarious. Obviously, tennis was different back in the day, but just a fun fact. But yeah, Rafa Novak, in modern tennis, probably the most times that a rivalry has played against one another. All right, so Rafa here at 4-4. de Minaur saved some break points. Serve down the tee, back into de Minaur. Forehand to Rafa, back in de Minaur. Forehand to Rafa, back in Demon. Forehand to Rafa, inside out. Forehand to Rafa again, inside in. de Minaur, Nadal absolutely dominating with that fear hand. Nadal dominating with that forehand, so it's 15-love. I'm actually a bit the opposite. I like his character. Yeah, Medvedev is quite funny. Breaking Rafa, especially when he started his main tactics recently, is very smart. Yeah, I definitely like Medvedev for sure. Never ever count Rafa out. Yeah, exactly. Vamos, Rafa. Is Nadal's backhand underrated? I don't know if it is. If people do underrate it, then like if people don't rate it super high, then it is. I don't know if people do that. Also, the fact he is right-handed. Yeah, I mean that's just crazy. Forehand to Rafa, the backhand of de Minaur, cross court, that goes out. Yeah, that's definitely underrated. I hate it when someone younger than me calls me son. Fair enough. This is the test for Rafa. He wins this match. He wins RG. Watch the odds drop with the bookies. Matt, I like that though. Listen, if I've been saying it for a while. If Rafa steps on the court for RG, he thinks he has a shot at winning RG. Maybe, or at least he's gonna have a shot at winning RG. Rafa at Roland Garros is just a different animal. It's not like he's like 45, you know. Serve, backhand, that's in the net. 40-love for Rafa. I mean, Rafa's going to be the same age as Roger when he was so close to winning against Novak at Wimbledon. Just about. So, Rafa's backhand is good. Understatement too. Very good. Very, very good, Pavel. Rafa's the only player I won't doubt, even when he's losing. He's still a winner for me. Wahoo. Yeah, there are only a handful of players I just will never doubt. I will be honest, Monfils is also one of those guys, despite not ever being a top 5 player, I think. Forehand de Minaur down the line, forehand to Rafa. Back in de Minaur down the line, back in Rafa, lob. Back in de Minaur, swing volley. Rafa, oh, he's so, I wish he made it. Because it would have been perfect. It would have been too perfect. Rafa goes for a forehand down the line. Perfect winner. Huge shot. And he just misses it wide. de Minaur looks annoyed. He's like, Jesus Christ, am I playing 2010 Rafa? Rafa is playing very well. Rafa, it's the big myth of Rafael Nadal. And it doesn't even make much sense. Rafa doesn't need that much match play to come into his best form. That being said, these were some of the biggest question marks he's ever had on him, if not the biggest. But anyway, Rafa, if he's healthy, he's got tennis in his veins. Serve here from Rafa. Serve coming from Rafa. Serve down the tee, back in de Minaur. The back in Nadal. Forehand de Minaur. Back and slice in Nadal. Back and slice to de Minaur. It's in the net. All right. So it is 5-4 for Nadal. By the way, I appreciate everybody joining in. Please, like always, don't forget to subscribe to QualityShot Tennis YouTube channel if you are new. Anthony here commentating. I appreciate everybody who's joined in. We're going to have 2 more streams later in the day. David's going to be doing a couple of the WTA streams for Stuttgart. So please join in for those as well. By the way, Sam, I don't know why they canceled, but India needs more events. Surely. Absolutely. And India's got such a big like got such a big population of fans waiting. So we need tennis back in Singapore. It's amazing when WTA finals happened there. Yeah, absolutely. The crowds are amazing. So yeah, more places the better. I think the more places the better. Singapore, India, you know, I think all of that is great. Runa can be canceled, not a big loss for anyone. Runa cancels ATP top 10 subscription. Jesus Christ, you guys are roasting Runa. Hey, what's up, Minaur? What's up, Zerafine? Rafa's back and rips it. Got that added benefit of strength and being a lefty, and technically a righty. Yeah, I guess so. And man, I mean, he's like Rafa is obviously the famous like muscular tennis player. I mean, he's got strength to hit, and that makes it strong. So, yeah. But that's so true. The fact that he is so strong with the right and the left hand is just crazy. I wish Medi was more aggressive like he was in the AO final first 2 sets. Yeah, that was a revelation. Yeah, Medvedev in those first 2 sets against Sinner, against Alcaraz at the US Open in last year. Those are 2 of the best individual kind of performances I've seen from him. So, yeah, Medi needs to play more like that. Rafa and his team both win today. Well, let's see. Rafa's in the lead with 5-4. Backhand lob. That's going to go wide, though. 15 love for Minaur. Not many in the crowd clap. It's like 5 people. It's like 5 people. Everybody's going for Rafa. What's up, MJ? Hi, Anthony. US Open tickets go on sale last week of May 28th for Amex pre-sale. Okay, amazing. Okay, I appreciate that info. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll write that down, in fact. I knew it was close to that time. I saw something about like June 1st, but yeah, I guess for the pre-sale for May 28th. Very good. Cool. My favorite Rafa Noli match was the Aussie Open 2012 final. What a match. Defined incredible physicality in the sport. Best rivalry in the world is Penkov's Hawkeye, and tried to prove me wrong. Rafa and Dustin Brown is the biggest rivalry. Novak and Vesely. Rafa versus Lucas Rosol. Okay. Rublev versus Minaur is actually an underrated rivalry. Yeah, big clash of styles makes for great rivalries. Saw Bonco Gonzalez play Rod Laver in an exhibition match when I was a kid. That's amazing. Those are the 2 best ever. They really are. 2 best tennis players ever. 2 of the best ever. That's a great forehand from Minaur. So it's 40-15. Some of these rallies are getting shorter and shorter. I have a feeling that it comes down to the fitness aspect as well. They don't want to hold on to as many kind of longer rallies. By the way, if you guys are wondering, the last matches that Rafa's lost on clay, I literally have a list of all of his losses on clay. It's very, very few. I mean, I'm not pulling this up to be like, look at all the times that Rafa has lost on clay. I'm just being like, look at how many times he's lost on clay. It's not very many, is it? It's different, it's circumstances here a little bit, but it's, it's still a win. And Rafa's playing very well. Smash, that's put away from Minaur, 5-5. If I'm a potential win. Like I said, I had Rafa in 3 coming in, but we'll see. Minaur is playing well too. High level. But the last times that Rafa's lost on clay courts, Rome to Denis Shapovalov. He was struggling physically in that one. Lost to Alcaraz in Madrid. That was also in 2022. 2021 Roland Garros, lost to Djokovic in that famous match. Incredible win. One of the more impressive wins, I think, in tennis history, to be honest. And one of the more monumental. Zverev beating Rafa Madrid 2021. Rublev beating Rafa Monte Carlo 2021. Then also a few in Rome and Madrid. Well, Rome of 2020, Madrid 2019 to Tsitsipas and Schwartzman. Those are the last losses he's had on clay. That's literally just, he barely loses on clay. I mean, very far in between. Few and far in between, I should say, his losses. What's up, Golden Jackal? Somehow Juice Boy's making kind of as he do. I know all the figure. Well, there's no evidence of it. How Rafa does it is that he's one of the most impressive competitors that we've ever seen in tennis. What's up, David? Appreciate you joining in. What's up? Hello, hello. I've seen enough. Rafa winning 3 slams in the Olympics. Absolutely. Forehand, cross court, the backhand, de Minaur. Forehand, Rafa, again, cross court to the backhand, de Minaur. Forehand, Rafa, again, going to that backhand. Forehand, Rafa just breaking down that de Minaur backhand. It's a good backhand hitting, though, from de Minaur, to be fair. Again, cross court to that forehand. Backhand to the backhand of Rafa. Forehand to the net. That's a good point from de Minaur to get to love 30. Strong stuff. I thought he was going to go down the line, but he said, hey, Rafa, I'm not afraid of your forehand. Try to break down my backhand. It can handle it. So good from Alex. So good from Alex. He said, hey, try to break down my forehand. He can't. Sorry, try to break down my backhand. He can't. Even with that famous forehand. Even with that famous forehand. And then you got way member off his team. I didn't, honestly, so. I didn't, to be honest. So y'all can explain it to me. Yeah. Rafa writes with his left hand, writes with his right hand, but plays sport as lefty. Yeah, that's what I've always heard. So he's definitely, with both. He has strength with both, I guess. Serve from Rafa. Here you go, 5-5. Serve. Backhand of Demon. Forehand Rafa. The backhand of de Minaur. Forehand Rafa. Inside out. The forehand of de Minaur. Chip. Forehand Rafa. Forehand of de Minaur. Forehand Rafa. Backhand de Minaur. Cross court. Forehand Rafa. Cross court. The backhand de Minaur. Down the line. Backhand Rafa. That goes out. So we're at love 40. He was right-handed. You can tell with his backhand, it's not normal. No, exactly. I agree, Faison. And that's why, I don't think you would write with your right hand if you're not right-handed. I don't think it's a myth. I agree. I think Tony has confirmed it as well. But yeah. I'm not sure about that, but yeah. Love 40. Nadal started the set very strong, but de Minaur's played a couple good points, and Rafa maybe just ever so slightly lost his very consistent kind of intensity to just keep one ball in, then another. And you have to give a lot of applause to de Minaur for being able to do that. He hasn't dropped the intensity one bit, and it's been very tough to play. Back in, down the middle, back in of Rafa, the forehand of de Minaur, again down the middle, back in de Minaur. The back end of Rafa. That goes out. That's a break to love for de Minaur. 6-5. Rafa's already broken de Minaur once. Let's see what Rafa has in the 6-5 game. It's going to be very interesting. Rafa needs to really kind of bring himself together in the 6-5 changeover. We got 6-5 here. They're playing weekend, by the way. Rude will be quite happy about that. Save Your Tears. It's a good song. Looking at the stats here in the set so far. de Minaur is doing quite well on the serve, to be honest. It's not incredible, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good, especially because he's only making 54% of his first serves in, but he's winning 59% a second serve. It's not great, though, to be fair. He'll want to make the first serve in. It's been a high level first set. Good callback, Anthony. Rude at the concert during grass season last year. Yeah, that was pretty much his warm-up, wasn't it, David? Yeah, the weekend is quite good. I do like Rude. I like Casper. I've said this before, but Casper is like just a guy who you just pull off the street. Just happens to be one of the great kind of tennis athletes at the moment. Come on, Rafa, break back. Tie break, please. Hell yeah. That's what we need. Rafa's played such a great kind of first set of it. Oh, Rafa, I don't know why Rafa hit that forehand volley. It looked like it was almost maybe going out. Rafa hits a forehand volley pretty much on top of the baseline. Kind of a strange shot there. What's the biggest beef that's ever unfolded in this live chat during QualityShot content? That's a great question. Not sure. I mean, Ghosts have had a few colorful spots. Yeah, Ghosts. Ghost and everyone. Yeah, it can get a bit much. Some of the stuff. Can be some spats. He always played left-handed and plays football as lefty, but he writes with his right hand. Well, it definitely shows support to that he has strength in both. That's a lot of consecutive points for Minaur as Rafa hits a backhand into the net. Rafa's intensity at the end kind of ran out, and Minaur takes the first set 7-5. So Rafa with a fantastic set, but in an hour and 7 minutes, Minaur gets the first set. Wow. It's an hour and 7 minutes. If all three sets are like that, that'll be 3 hours and 21 minutes. That doesn't even include the breaks between sets. I mean, come on. What? It says 6 winners and 23 unforced errors for Rafa. Surely it can't be. Surely it can't be. Come on. Feels quite rude to Rafa. 23 unforced errors, 6 winners. Surely he hit more winners than 6. That is very weird. I mean, it's just wrong, right? Tennis TV. I don't know why. Those stats always look weird to me. Whenever I see anybody doing winners to unforced errors, it always looks wrong. I don't know. I got to start charting my own matches. Like, start charting the matches by myself. I don't know. That's how I feel. None of these websites seem to do it very much justice. Because there's no way Rafa's 6 winners, 23 errors. He played a respectable set. I mean, the stat is unforced errors. It's not just errors, right? Rafa's right-handed, but Tony knows that he hits the tennis ball better with his left hand. Well, it's a great call from them. Genius. Vamos, Alex. Okay. Minaur beating 2 Roland Garros champions in back-to-back weeks. Pretty sad about Stan and Rafa's levels. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, Rafa at the end here. I kind of thought Rafa played a respectable set, but Stan last week was not great. And it's a bit sad because he's already, 39? I think just turned 39, so he doesn't have that much longer to go. I'll be curious. Maybe he calls it quits. I hope not, but even though he's not, he's not French or anything, I kind of wonder if maybe Roland Garros Olympics, where he's had such good success, he would consider calling it quits. I hope not, though. I hope Stan keeps playing. He's still playing well. Got to the UMOG final last year, but nearly won it. Hey, what's up, Juice? What's up, Juice? Coming in here from down under. Appreciate you joining in. What's up, Juice? Rafa played two-handed on both sides when he was a kid. When he was told he needed a forehand only, the left was natural for him. Yeah, I mean, you got to play with what's better for you. And I used to play with two-handed on both sides too. Very weird. It's not great for the forehand. I mean, with the two-handed backhand, that's how most people play. But yeah, it's very tough. You don't have the same amount of reach on the shot. It's just much harder to create, good speed consistently. You don't have that big of a backswing. It's just like whatever. It's like you don't have as big of a windup, it feels like. Come on, Rafa, you can do this. I believe. I definitely saw some missed returns from Rafa. They're hard to remember as unforced errors. I guess that's fair. I don't know. It just didn't feel like 23 unforced, but maybe I'm actually left-handed, damn it. You got to try it. All right, we're starting the second set. These were tournaments Rafa used to breeze through during his prime before the French Open. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, they are, but they are. The reason it's so impressive is because they're always actually so tough. He makes them look easy, and it's not like he never had somewhat close matches. Although it was pretty rare, to be honest, on a clay court in front of a home crowd. But it was his. A lot of it was his, resilience to get through these moments. De Minaur is playing incredibly well, though. De Minaur should be very happy with the level he's brought out onto the clay. Love 15. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, De Minaur's improved a lot of the things that should make him play better on clay. Kind of reminds me of Medvedev in some ways, in a weird way. I just think now he's able to play so aggressive and when he needs to. And, it's helped him a lot. It's helped him a lot. It's also just hitting that forehand so big. Backhand's better. Backhand of Nadal, backhand De Minaur, forehand Rafa, backhand De Minaur down the line, backhand Rafa. Oh, that's a great pass. That's a great pass from Rafa across court. So 15 all. Why is this very match suspended? Rain. Rain in Munich. They're all watching Rafa. Everybody had to pause their matches all over the world. Everyone's watching Rafa. Everyone's watching Rafa on clay take on the world number 11. I believe it's world number 11. Smash. Backhand De Minaur somehow there. That's insane. That goes out, though. 30-15 for Nadal. $30-15 here for Rafa. Yeah, world number 11, De Minaur. Right in front of Rune. De Minaur is now higher ranked than Rune. Shelton is higher ranked than Fritz. In fact, Hugo Humbert is higher ranked than Fritz. There's been a lot of movement. Ruud is once again higher ranked than Rublev now, 2 points ahead at 6 in front of 8. Those guys were so close from about number 5, or really about like number 5, 6 to number 15, really especially number 7 to 15. So not surprised we've seen a lot of movement there to start the year. That's a great shot from De Minaur with that backhand. He's really holding his own on that backhand wing. I mean, Rafa is so good at placing his shots, especially with that forehand. He's getting a lot of them to that backhand, but that De Minaur backhand is really holding up. So. And they met Real Madrid's Nadal's favorite football team. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, well, there you go. That makes sense. Big up, Anthony. I appreciate Cedric. Appreciate joining in. So imagine Rafa playing here and seeing his name. Wow, what a feeling. That is so crazy, though. That while he's playing, they go pissed Rafa and Nadal. That is why he's one of the great clay court players. They just had to do it already. Yeah, playing on a court with his name is crazy. That's like if back in the day, Rod Laver Arena was already called Rod Laver Arena when Laver was playing it. Or it's like that kind of thing. Like if Rod Laver got a chance to play in Rod Laver Arena, But, I mean, everything is different, though. Australian Open used to be played on grass. Now it's on hard courts. Starting from, like, 1987 or 88 or whatever when that arena was built. Forehand, De Minaur. That goes out. Nadal saves one. Can he stay alive? Nadal will fight. If you don't count anybody out, Lexi said it earlier in the chat, if you don't count anybody out, the number one priority on that list should be Rafa. And that should have been quite clear to quite literally everybody after the miracle in Melbourne that he pulled off against Daniil Medvedev. The informed hardcourt player was up 2-0 in triple break point. After Rafa was feeling so physically spent against Shapo, just came back from COVID, had 6 months off, hadn't won the Australian Open in 13 years, all these things. Nadal at 35 years old, I believe, maybe 36 years old. I mean, after that, Should have been clear to everybody. Rafa to win his 21st major, which was a record at the time. Should have been clear to everybody. You never count this dude out. Period. Point blank, period. I quite literally mean that. Some of these athletes are just different. It's their will to win, their will to return, their will to play. Advantage here, Rafa. It's a good shot. Out wide, forehand to Rafa. Down the line, forehand to Minaur. Back in volley. Nadal hits the tape, goes over. Oh, Minaur gets it somehow. It wasn't called for a double bounce. Nadal wins the game 1-0. He needs some luck, though. He definitely needs a little bit of luck. Definitely needs a little bit of luck, does Rafa there. So he got it. You just don't feel like Rafa's going to get to those drop shots. Yeah, true. I mean, Minaur started doing a lot of those, especially starting like midway through the first set. So imagine not paying €500 for a quarterfinal ticket and not even getting to watch Rafa. Yeah, that's just crazy. It's disgusting. That's insane. That is insane. The tickets should be cheaper. We need the crowds in. It's crazy how, despite being Nole fan, I want Rafa to be fit and playing well. We really need at least one more Rafa Nole match at high level. I agree. I totally agree. And I'm one of the few that kind of wants to see it on a surface other than clay, too. We haven't had one since the ATP Cup in 2020. But those two guys, I mean, Rafa's an all-timer on hard courts, too. I mean, I know Novak is so good on hard courts, and he's still playing at such a high level that, you know, it probably won't be as great as if they play on clay. But I just want to see it because I think it'll be good anyway. And I think that, you know, I just want to see it again because they played some iconic matches. 38, yeah. Rafa turns 38 June 3rd. Yeah, thanks for that, Zerfine. Yeah, so 38, wow, yep. That's crazy to think about, isn't it? It's been about 20 years since Rafa first came up to the tour as an 18-year-old in 2004, 2005. 30 love here. Minaur has been serving pretty well now in this match. Back end of Demon. Forehand to Rafa. Forehand to Demon. It's miss hit from Rafa into the ground. So 40 love for Demon. 40 love for Minaur. We're at 1-1. Rafa, same age as Ronaldo. Yeah, it is crazy. And also LeBron is getting up there in age, which is pretty crazy. Anthony, do you also follow football? I do occasionally, but especially this year, I've just not been following it that much. What I follow more is I just follow tennis so much, and it's been a little bit harder for me to make time for other sports, especially with other stuff I've been busy with this year. But when I get a chance to watch sports, I mean, padel is something I love watching. Basketball, I like watching a lot whenever I get the chance. Those are two that I watch more than some other stuff. Also, I just love watching like highlights of volleyball, even if there's not like a huge team I always root for. But yeah, basketball, padel, and then just tennis. Just such a big follower of tennis. So that's kind of my sports stuff. Rafa versus Nole would be so hyped, like kind of Messi versus Ronaldo last dance. Yeah, exactly. Rafa Nole for the 60th time. It would also make it so that the big three have played each other 150 times. It would be the 60th match for Rafa and Novak. It would be the fifth that Roger and Novak have played 50 times, and Roger and Rafa played 40 times. Those won't change because Roger's out, obviously. So that would make it 50, 60, and 40, which would be a crazy coincidence, and also would kind of make it perfect. It would kind of make it perfect. Even more perfect than that, by the way. Is if Rafa and Novak play and Rafa wins, maybe on clay courts, and then they play at 30 all, tied at 30 all, 30-30, and they play a tiebreaker in their head-to-head at 30-30. That would be absolute perfection. All we need is for them to play twice more and for Rafa to win the next one, but it's probably unlikely. But anyway, love 30 here, Minaur. He's gotten the momentum here. Full focus on the match here. It's a big moment. Forehand Rafa, back into Minaur. Forehand Rafa, down line, forehand Minaur. Back into Rafa, down line, back and slice to Demon. That's right in the baseline. Forehand. De Minaur, the back into Rafa. Forehand De Minaur. Back into Rafa again. Forehand to backhand. Back into Rafa. Forehand to De Minaur. Back into Rafa again. Forehand De Minaur. Back into Rafa. Oh, it's a miss it, but goes in. Forehand De Minaur. Forehand Rafa for a pass. De Minaur probably could have done more with the shot beforehand, but anyway, really good stuff. It was an awkward ball to deal with. A little bit of a miss hit. And that's a great passing shot from Rafa. Rafa's passing shot is just different. Rafa's passing shot is just different. And then what happened to Shapa? I haven't seen him in a while. Is he injured or what? Yeah, come back from injury. Apart from that, Shapa's been struggling. Yeah, Shapa's struggling. We'll see how he picks up off that Tsitsipas win. But yeah, I mean, overall, Seth definitely played far from his best there. So I agree. Shapa's still struggling a bit. Kind of like he was beforehand. I'm just not seeing a whole lot of improvements, to be honest. Whatever happens, good practice for Rafa. That's so true. That's so true. Glass half empty. So, sorry, glass half full. So stupid. Glass half full. That's what I'm gonna say. Glass half empty. It's a great optimistic take. Glass half empty. Backhand, forehand, drop shot. That's in the net. 30-all. Same age as Drake and Lady Gaga. That is crazy. That is crazy. Drake dissed the entire music industry, by the way. Don't know if anybody's following that, but that was pretty crazy. I like Drake. I also like Kendrick, so I'm just enjoying it. I just think it's great for like music and hip hop music. Rafa, come on. Anthony, also, do you mind scrolling the score down a bit so the comments will cover it? Yeah, for sure. All right, 30-all. Big moment here in this match. Serve from Rafa. Down the T at the back end, De Minaur. Back into Rafa. The back end of De Minaur. The forehand of Rafa. Drop shot. De Minaur runs. He can't get there, though. That's a good drop shot from Rafa. And Rafa can hit a good drop shot or two. We saw that yesterday as well. Rafa is still fighting. I don't expect Rafa to give up without a fight. Not on his home turf. Not on the clay. I like to see that from Rafa, switching it up. Because he wasn't really winning a lot of these rallies anymore at this point. De Minaur has been doing really well in these rallies. I mean, whether he hit to the forehand or the backhand, I mean, he's playing really solid tennis compared probably to Rafa at the moment. I mean, he's also just played a lot more recently. Backhand has a drop shot from De Minaur. Again, a lot of drop shots. A good one. Backhand slice. De Minaur is there. Lob. Oh, it's gonna be a tweener. No, Rafa hits it around the legs. He doesn't hit a tweener. He hits it around him like a squash shot, and he gets it. But De Minaur with a volley put away. Okay, I thought Nadal was gonna hit a tweener there. That was a great get from De Minaur to hit the lob there, right on the baseline. Great get from Rafa. He still got the speed at nearly 38. Drake remixed my college classmate song a few years ago. That's crazy, Joe. Please send me the name of that song because that's awesome. That's insane. Yeah. That's freaking awesome. Chapo versus Rome. Shut the F up, walls. Always be iconic. Absolutely. I love that. I love just that soundbite. It's so hilarious. I like Chapo, man. I like his personality. I want him to do better. He's one of the more talented guys. I think at some point, somehow, some way down the road, we'll see him with some kind of run. Somehow. I hope for that. That goes out from Rafa, so it's advantage to De Minaur. De Minaur a little bit more consistent than Rafa, unfortunately. It's good practice. It's a good test for Rafa early. This is respectable. It's respectable. I think it's respectable. And it's a good test for Rafa, no matter what. But what he would like to do here is to save this break point. Forehand to the backhand De Minaur, forehand to Rafa. Backhand of De Minaur. Back into Rafa. Forehand, Minaur. Forehand, Rafa. Swing volley. Back in Minaur for a pass. It's too good. Minaur is playing really amazing. So, yeah. I mean, listen, it's kind of like Minaur is a player who Clay hasn't been his favorite. I mentioned the statistics earlier of his records. He's 62% win rate on hard courts, 61% on grass courts, 41% on clay courts. That's a losing record. So he hasn't been great on clay, but the improvements he's made, especially starting from last year, and especially since like Canada last year when he got to the final of a Masters for the first time, and the improvements this year. I mean, he's constantly improving. He's gonna be a person to reckon with on clay. He's gonna be a person to reckon with on clay. Rafa's down a set and a break. I did mention earlier the losses that Rafa has had on clay courts. Rafa, including futures events and challengers, Rafa's had 63 losses on clay in his career, just 63. 18 of those have come in challengers or futures. 45 tour level losses on clay courts. His last losses on clay have been his last 5 losses, or I'll say last 6 losses on clay. All this decade, it was to Schwartzman in Rome in 2020. Rublev in Monte Carlo in 2021, Zverev in Madrid in 2021, Djokovic in Roland Garros in that famous match in 2021, Alcaraz in Madrid of 2022, and Chapo in Rome of 2022. So, anyway, they come very few and far in between. This definitely has a bit of a, I don't know if asterisk is the right word, but there are circumstances around this match. But that being said, Rafa's age and also Rafa's health concerns and Rafa just coming back. But anyway, Paul, the original song is "Do You Mind" by Crazy Cousins, and his ex-girlfriend did the vocals. That's amazing. I'm gonna write that down, Joe. I'll look that up and then I might mention it to you during the next stream for sure. That's cool. $15 love for Minaur as he hits another winner. That forehand is doing a lot of damage. Forehand down the line. Oh, what a shot. Serve into the back into Rafa, back in Minaur. Back into Rafa, back in Minaur. Forehand Rafa. Back in Minaur down the line. Back in Rafa. Back in Demon. Forehand Rafa. That goes out there. Now I can see where the errors are kind of coming in on Rafa's side. Not consistent enough. And it comes down to lack of match play, too. Minaur always plays with such intensity. I guess this is always going to be a tough match, but I was curious to see if Minaur's game from the back of the court can hold up to Rafa's if Rafa's is at his best. And the answer is yes, quite clearly and quite loudly. At this point. I mean, I don't know if Rafa's not at his best, but if Rafa is still hitting shots at a high level. But the answer is yes. And Minaur can still hit winners and hit through Rafa and have the shots, the drop shots. Another drop shot's not a good one, though. Lob, though. Rafa goes back into backhand. Lob himself. That goes long, though. 40-15. It's looking, Minaur has 100% of the momentum at the moment. It's looking like Minaur's match to lose. I think the Drake song is called One Love. Okay, got you. Not sure if Drake still has a take on the Toronto Raptors. Yeah. And about the Drake beef, I'm very excited to see what Kendrick has to say next to respond to Drake. I think that's so fun. I think that's so fun. It's a fun situation. for music. 40-30, that's in the net. So Minaur still with the game point, but Nadal 1 point away from kind of from at least bringing it to deuce and keeping it close. Backhand. Forehand of Demon. Forehand of Minaur down the line. Forehand of Rafa. Backhand Minaur is defending. Backhand cross court. Forehand Minaur slides on the clay very well. Gets to that. Backhand. Minaur, the backhand of Rafa. That's a shank. I mean, Minaur is playing extremely well. I'll be honest. Minaur is playing extremely well. This is a guy to watch out on clay. I mean, I'll tell you what. This is a guy to watch out on clay. He's moving as well on clay as I've seen Minaur move. And he's just hitting very, very solid from the back, very consistent, but also more aggressive and deep consistently than usual. He's playing smart. I mean, Medvedev won Rome last year, and I know Minaur has a losing record on clay, but that losing record is definitely going to only go up. It's only going to go up from in his win-loss record. I'm not going to say he's going to be one of the favorites for the next few tournaments, but if he keeps up a level like this, then I'd say watch out. I'd say to watch out. Now, if he plays Sinner, for example, I don't know if he'll be that happy, or Alcaraz even, for example, but you never know. You never know. Serve Rafa, the backhand Minaur goes out from Rafa on the serve, so second serve. Backhand of Minaur, the backhand of Rafa. That goes in the net, so left 15. I'm not a fan of Shapa, but his 5 sets match against Rublev was one of my all-time faves. That match was insane. Don't know who's going to win. Of course, Rublev won at the end, but he had a hard time. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it was definitely a great match. I mean, yeah, Rublev is just so rock solid compared to Shapo, and mentally as at least back in the day was mentally as well in terms of getting through the matches. I don't know as much at this point, to be honest, but yeah, Shapo, he has a lot of ways to improve, and I'm just not seeing those improvements. I'd love to see it happen. Like Nick Kyrgios, for example, like 2022, he pretty much just focused in and had an incredible season for a year. We saw a lot of improvements in a lot of ways. He was playing very smart. I would love to see a similar kind of season for Shapo somewhere down the road. Just really focus in, and he has like a top 5, top 10 talent on tour if he really wants to use it and finds a way to. So I would love to see him really have a great kind of performance in that way. That's a miss it backhand from Minaur, a bit shanked, and it's 30-15 for Rafa. $30-15. I mean, Shapa had a great match against Rafa at the Australian Open a couple of years ago too, when Rafa, when Rafa won the Australian Open. But he just kind of went away in the 5th set, and that's Shapo's problem, honestly. Backhand, the forehand of Rafa, backhand Minaur. Forehand of Rafa, backhand Minaur. Forehand of Rafa down the line, forehand of Minaur. The backhand of Rafa, forehand Demon. Backhand Rafa again, backhand Minaur cross score. That's in the net. 40-15 here for Rafa. I think Rafa's more excited about watching the Galacticos tonight than playing Alex. Yeah. Just watching the Real Madrid game. He's probably thinking about it already, but Shapo's also beaten Rafa. Yeah, I think I remember that. Was that on clay in a some clay masters, or did he have a match point? He lost it, but he probably won as well. I don't remember. Oh, he beat him in Canada in 2017. He also had a match point against him on clay at some point. I forgot when that was, but that's a great drop shot from Minaur. Yeah, Shapo's actually beaten him twice. Okay, according to this. No, wait, hold up. Yeah, Rome a couple years ago. Yes. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, the first time that they ever played in Canada in 2017, also in Rome. Yeah, that was one of Rafa's last clay losses. Yeah, of course. I don't really think about that as a loss as much. In Rome, yeah, when Nadal was injured, I don't think about that as a loss as much. It kind of drifts over my head because I I don't want to say it's an asterisk, and Shapo deserved that match, but I just always think of Rafa being so injured in that match and so physically spent. But yeah, no, it was a good win though for Shapo anyway. But that's a backing out from Rafa. So deuce, a few shocking errors creeping into the Rafa game at this point. Madrid, Rome, not Madrid. Yeah, in Rome. I just always forget about that. I compartmentalize a lot of different matches in different ways, and I have like big upsets, which I generally think of as upsets, and then I also have like where players are more injured. So I don't. That is a Shapo win though. I mean, it's a Shapo win, but it definitely small asterisk of Rafa. But yeah, Shapo 4-2 is the head with that one, which is good. I mean, that's good for Shapo's confidence, and also knowing that was almost 3-all if Shapo had won their match in Australia. And we would be completely looking at that head-to-head in a completely different way had that happened. There's a serve here from Rafa. He's at deuce at 1-3. Serve. Forehand to Minaur. Down the middle, back into Rafa. Minaur already kind of on the front foot in this rally. Forehand Minaur. The forehand to Rafa. That's in the net. That serve from Rafa is really just allowing Minaur to get on the advantage immediately in these rallies. Minaur is just killer. He's so focused and locked in this match. He knows exactly what he's up against, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care what version of Rafa he's playing on clay courts. If he's playing Rafa on clay, I think he knows he has the respect for Rafa. And Minaur is trying to beat Rafa twice in a row. That's not something that a whole lot of players can say that they've done. That's something he's going for as well. Forehand, backhand Minaur down the line, backhand Rafa. The backhand Minaur cross court, the forehand Rafa. Forehand Minaur, backhand Rafa. Down line, the backhand Minaur, forehand Rafa. Backhand Minaur, that's in the net. It's a big vamos from Rafa. So we're at deuce. We are at deuce. We are at deuce. Minaur jumping up a lot before the serve, trying to kind of get some energy going. He knows that this is his chance to pounce. He doesn't even want Rafa to stay particularly close. That's dangerous. Especially when he doesn't have that much confidence on his own kind of serve to absolutely 100% know that he can keep kind of holding. But he's got the momentum. He's playing better tennis, the more consistent. That's a double fault from Rafa. This match looks done, but I'm always hesitant to say that. Comeback starts now. Let's see. I mean, you never know. You really never know. But yeah, it's looking just about it. Always famous last words when watching Rafa, though. So break point here for Minaur. See if he can kind of get that double break. Serve. That's down the middle. It's a late call from the umpires called out. It did look out. All right, second serve for Minaur. Let's see if he can step up to the plate here. Backhand of Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. Backhand of Minaur. Backhand to Rafa. Backhand Minaur down the line. Backhand to Rafa. The backhand Minaur. Backhand to Rafa again. The forehand Minaur now. Backhand of Rafa. The backhand Minaur. That goes out. Deuce. Rafa rallying well, and I'm sure he's breathing a bit heavy. I'm sure he's tired, but he's rallying well. Rallying well. Rafa. Let's go, Rafa. Come on, Rafa. Come on, Rafa. Rafa Nadal, the Spanish king, the Spaniard. Let's see what he can do. By the way, in the set, 26 points on serve for Rafa, 10 for Minaur. That's silly. 10 points played on serve for Demon, 26 for Rafa. Almost triple. Nearing on triple the amount. Forehand to Rafa. The back end to Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. Down line to forehand to Minaur. Back in Rafa. Down line. Back in Minaur. Sliced. And that goes wide. So it's a game point for Rafa. Rafa with the fist bump. I love that. Showing some confidence. He will never give up the fight. He will never give up the fight. All right, see, one more point here on serve. See what he can do. He'll want that first serve in, though. That's 110%. He'll want that first serve in. Keep this energy. And get this last point. Serve from Rafa. Crowd cheering him on. Down the line. Forehand of Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. That goes out. Not sure he wanted to hit that first serve. He went a little bit more high percentage there, I think. And, I mean, not that it wasn't super high percentage before, but... And he hit it right to the forehand of Demon. I'm not sure that was the right choice. Arg. Deuce. Let's go, Rafa. Come on, Rafa. Serve from Rafa. The back end, Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. The back end of Demon. Forehand to Rafa. Hits over to the forehand of Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. The back end of Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. That's in the net. Big come on for Demon. Big come on from Demon. He's at advantage here. 2 points away. 2 points away. Now he's got another breakpoint chance. Breakpoint number 3. Serve from Rafa. I'm sure he's going to try to hit this out wide to the backhand. He does. Back in Minaur. Back in Rafa cross court. Forehand to Demon. Back in Rafa. Forehand to Demon. Back in Rafa down the line. Back in Demon. Back in Rafa. Forehand de Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. That goes out. 2 breaks for Alex de Minaur as he tries to knock out Nadal out of his home tournament. There are very few to no cheers for de Minaur from the stadium, as it is 4-1. You know, this doesn't feel that, you know, Nadal's first tournament back. Like a lot of people are saying, you can't ask for a whole lot against the world number 11. He's tried his absolute hardest, Rafa, and that's all that you can ask from Rafa, really. But, yeah, I mean, hopefully he can pick up his level a little bit and not, you know, keep up the physical intensity and not go to the unforced errors like he has. Find a little bit more on the serve would be quite good as well. Hopefully in Madrid, hopefully he can play Madrid. But this is, I mean, it's a respectable level. I mean, he should be playing these tournaments if he's healthy. If he's healthy, obviously, I mean. Rafa, yep. Bit disappointing. I had Rafa coming through also, which has not ended up being the case. People were right to say it was a tough matchup. By the way, they're showing an Alcaraz ad in the back. They're showing an Alcaraz ad for, I think, deodorant it was. Which kind of makes sense because they're in Barcelona. They're in Spain. Shows how big of a star Alcaraz is as well. Just an ad playing with him. I love seeing that with Sinner and Alcaraz, though. They've got so many brands under their belts now. It's pretty crazy. But it's good. It's good. It's good to see, you know, the next names in the game kind of getting exposure and getting that stardom. That's what you want to see. And they both got a lot to offer in tennis too. So, and in personality wise, like, they're just good all around. It's okay, Rafa, you can do this. Yep. I mean, he's come back from more unlikely situations, to be fair. Let's be fair. Back into Rafa, but it's de Minaur with the momentum here. This tape goes in, forehand Rafa at the forehand de Minaur. Back in across court, the forehand de Minaur. Back in Rafa. Back in Minaur cross court. It doesn't even feel like Rafa's moving as intensely at this point. Maybe it feels like he's a little bit out of this match. He kind of doesn't want to go too much at his body. I'm not sure exactly, but anyway. By the way, the winner of this match, I believe, is playing the winner of Feast and Altmaier. Have they played already? No, they're playing. They're going to play soon. Forehand to back into Rafa. Back in volley. Forehand to Rafa. It's a lob. It goes out, though. Not really a lob, more of a pass, and goes out. Goes long. 30 love. 30 love. Lajovic beat Umber, by the way, in this tournament. Casper won earlier. This is a good opportunity for Casper to get his first 500 tournament. It's a great opportunity. Jarry lost to Chungaletti. It's a crazy thing with Nicolas Jarry. He'll beat just top 5 players casually across all surfaces, and then he'll lose to just random players. It's so weird. Mahac withdrew against Fokina. Batista Agu won earlier. Good to see him in good form. It's been a little bit of a while. Musetti lost the first set to Carbes Baena, who's a great clay court player. That will be interesting. Carbes Baena has been playing well. Forehand down the line, too good. 5-1 for Alex de Minaur, looking to beat Rafa for the second time in a row. And deliver one of very rare loss for Rafa on the clay courts. Every time Rafa loses on clay, you're like, wow. This is one of those moments. That doesn't happen very often, but this is one of those moments. I mean, it happened a little bit more constantly when he was very young. It happened a little bit more constantly when he was about 34, 35, 36. But still, even at those points, it was very rare. It's just Rafa on clay is a different breed. And every time Rafa loses a match like this, it gets, automatically, it's a bit historic. Or at least it's, I mean, a loss of Rafa's on clay is a bit historic. You know that it doesn't happen very often. Back into de Minaur to forehand to Rafa. The crowd is still going to be cheering Rafa on. Forehand down the line. That's a great forehand. Rafa still showing some of his best shots at the end here. One of the last times I can remember Rafa coming back from a double breakdown was against Sebi Korda at Indian Wells. Anyway, obviously quite unlikely now, especially with the circumstances, but I do remember that one. Yeah, Tsitsipas is also in this Barcelona event. Ruud is in this tournament. A lot of opportunities, a lot of good opportunities. de Minaur is playing quite well. I'd love to see Feast do something as well. He likes clay. Marajan, never know. Van Asch had to retire against Marajan earlier today. de Minaur also vying to be one of potentially Rafa's last losses, and that definitely goes into the history books. de Minaur could potentially be one of the last players to beat Rafa. I'm not saying the last, but one of the last, potentially. So, goes into the history books. All these last losses, like I remember all of Roger's last losses when he played 2021 season. I remember all of them. That just it goes right into your memory. So. Whether it was against Basilashvili or whether it was against FAA or whether it was against Hurkacz, his withdrawal at Roland Garros against Berrettini. I remember all of those. So his comeback match against Dan Evans, like these matches, you remember these matches. Back in cross court, it's in the net, 30-15. What is the head-to-head? It is 3-1 for Rafa. I'm not sure if DME has beaten Rafa before. Yeah, so the last time that they played Lexi at United Cup, Rafa got the win. Sorry, de Minaur got the win 7-5 in the third against Rafa. de Minaur won 7-5 in the third set in 3 sets. And they said DME has beaten Rafa once before. Yep. Forehand at the back end, de Minaur. Forehand to Rafa. Drop shot. It's too good. Rafa doesn't even run for it. That's something maybe to remember for somebody whistling in the crowd too. I don't think they like the drop shots, but it's a fair play. I think they're going to make a note of that. I mean, that drop shot, the speed moving up and down the court. I still remember Roger losing Geneva after his injury comeback. Yeah, I mean, I remember all of those. All of yeah, exactly. whenever a player like that comes back, I remember it because it's like at the end, you know. Forehand volley. Oh, de Minaur somehow gets it right on the baseline. So match point for Alex de Minaur to take out the man, the myth, the legend, Rafael Nadal, the gladiator. 7-5, 6-1. Rafa also doesn't lose breadsticks very often either, but de Minaur's been absolutely killer. He's been in lockdown mode, and that just shows a lot of respect for Rafa too, because he knows what he's up against. Any situation, any circumstance. He's playing Rafa with the utmost respect. He knows he has to bring it his all like Rafa does every time he's on the court. Rafa forehand, that goes out. Alex de Minaur gets through 7-5, 6-1, knocks out Rafa out of Barcelona. Rafa, he tried his best. It was a mammoth first set. Kind of went away, or didn't go away in the second set, but his level definitely dropped. de Minaur, in a couple of long games, was able to grab a double break. Nadal started playing a few too many unforced errors, or too many unforced errors. So that was kind of what happened. But still, listen, Rafa tried his best. I think it's respectable, and I hope he can keep improving as he goes to Madrid. Just happy to be able to watch Rafa and see him back. We still see some of the great shots Rafa hit, but definitely disappointing. But de Minaur is through. I appreciate everybody for joining in. Like always, please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis. Like always, if you are new, don't forget to like as well if you did enjoy it. Appreciate everybody joining in. Boo Demon. Oh, well, congrats to him. Booing me then. It's okay, Rafa. Exactly. It's okay. He tried his best. I think it's respectable. And hopefully with the serve, he can figure it out and, to make it a little bit more, I don't know, little more oomph on it, a little bit more pace. And also, just to, just to go down on the errors and to be able to play his game a little bit more how he would want to play his game. And he waves goodbye to the Barcelona crowd, probably for the last time in his career. de Minaur claps as well. Rafa is out. Last time he walks off. The Pista, Rafael Nadal. He's off. Wow. Last time in Barcelona. That's crazy. Potentially. But he said himself it's likely the last time. Wow, that really is crazy. Tommy Robredo, by the way, I recognize him with the mic speaking to de Minaur now. That is really crazy. Man, sad for Rafa. All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Lexi. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sake. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Joe. So I'm an next, yikes. Yeah, we'll see. I might watch some. I'm going to watch a little bit more tennis as well. All right, I appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys for joining in. I'll see you guys for more. Rafa's out. Disappointing with that. But yeah, there you go. I'm sad. Bye-bye. A bit sad as well. Vamos, Anthony. Yeah, Joe. I made it through. No. Wow. de Minaur was stone cold, though. He was just like, he was going for the win. He got it. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. And, yeah, de Minaur through, knocks out Rafa. Hope to see Rafa back in Madrid. Good to see him playing. And I hope to see him back for Madrid. And then, obviously, hopefully, Roland Garros in the Roland Garros Olympics would be great as well. Especially Roland Garros, the Grand Slam where he's played, where he's won 14 times. So hopefully Rafa keeps on trudging forward.
lose.